All right, we would like to thank our other guests, Attorney Dario Suarez, Miss Carmi Makapagaw, Mr. Daniel Arias, and of course, Kadodoy Balyon. Also, thank you to everyone who made it possible for us to stage the Green Sauna last September 3 to 4, 2025. And now to JRS, thank you also for allowing us to stage this Kamayan. Okay, I'm sure you are eager to ask questions and give your feedback. We will have that open forum soon, but first, for now, a broader perspective of the voices, visions, and commitments, as stated in the theme of today's Kamayan session. Allow me to present a summary of the resolutions of the 2025 Green Sauna, which was prepared by Dr. Cecile Gascon following the discussions that have transpired from the conference. A copy will be submitted to the Office of the President and to other government agencies concerned. Hopefully, our views can attract their attention and concrete solutions can be undertaken to address these regional and national issues with regard to our environment. Okay. Whereas the Philippines is ranked among the top 5 most climate vulnerable countries in the world, and its ecosystems are under severe threat due to deforestation, illegal mining, coastal degradation, and pollution. Whereas existing data show that the country loses approximately 47,000 hectares of forest cover annually and has lost around 60% of its forest cover in the past 80 years. Whereas biodiversity studies confirm that the Philippines is a mega diverse country, yet nearly 700 species are threatened with extinction, including those found in eastern Visayas forests, coastal zones, and marine ecosystems. Whereas Region 8 has a total of 2.1 million hectares, of which 1 million plus was classified as timberland, including the protected areas, of which 5,300, 5,038, 538,847 hectares are with forest cover. Whereas environment issues in the region include deforestation that threatens watershed stability and biodiversity, poor land use, reclamation projects for major foreshore and coastal infrastructure, waste management, water pollution, and air pollution. Whereas the Philippines generates an estimated 35,580 tons of solid waste per day, with the average waste per person per day ranging from 0.31 to 0.74 kilograms, and is expected to reach 23.61 million tons in 2025, of which only 28% is diverted or recycled, while Region 8's growing urban centers continue to face challenges in proper segregation, recycling, and waste diversion. Whereas Region 8 is historically vulnerable to climate disasters, most notably Super Typhoon Yolanda in 2013, which highlighted the urgent need for localized and science-based adaptation and mitigation strategies. Whereas the presence of mining in Region 8, specifically in Homonhon, Giwan, Eastern Samar, is impacting people's lives and livelihood, children's education, and the overall physical and biological environment of the island. Whereas despite these environmental concerns, there are existing programs that are potential to address these concerns. And whereas our lifestyles can be guided by the ecological paradigm and the 7 environmental principles, Now, therefore, be it resolved that the participants of the State of the Nature Assessment 2025 jointly affirm and commit to the following concrete and data-driven actions. For DNR, enforce strict compliance of mining operations in the Philippine Mining Act and Environmental Impact Assessment System, prioritizing closure or suspension of violators. Scale up the National Greening Program by targeting critical watersheds in Region 8 to restore at least 10,000 hectares annually of degraded forest lands. Institutionalize the use of real-time environmental monitoring systems to guide enforcement, planning, and implementation. Consider excluding from mining small islands with communities and protected areas and declared rice farmlands and carp areas. They should all be excluded from mining activities. For LGUs, fully implement Republic Act 9003 or the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act by ensuring every barangay in Region 8 establishes material recovery facilities and upcycling facility and achieve at least 80% waste diversion rate by 2028. Mandate the segregation of plastics and phase out single-use plastics by adopting local ordinances modeled after existing LGU best practices. Develop climate and disaster resilient land use plans, integrating updated hazard maps to protect vulnerable communities. Promote nature-based livelihood for communities. Study effects of mining and other extractive industries with regard to sustainable development. Talagang nakakatulong ba to? Parang hindi. And effectively implement key environmental laws, including those on clean air, clean water, solid waste management, hazardous substances, and environmental impact assessment, requiring their integration into the program and initiatives of and in the initiatives of LGUs to promote sustainable and resilient communities. Enforce environmental policies and ordinances to prevent hazards, reduce outbreaks, and stop practices that could harm ecosystems. And for the academic institutions, generate region-specific research on climate vulnerability, coastal erosion, and sustainable agriculture aligned with the National Climate Change Action Plan. Establish community-based climate innovation hubs that pilot renewable energy, agroforestry, and sustainable fisheries technologies with measurable outcomes. Create a regional data sharing platform for environmental monitoring in partnership with DENR, LGUs, and civil society to ensure evidence-based policy making. And embed the ecological principles in the curricula, research, and community outreach across state universities, colleges, and civil society. Amplify awareness that everything is connected, from mining impacts to biodiversity loss, from consumer choices to climate risks. Promote nature-based solutions to help sustain the Philippine forests, promote biodiversity, and mitigate climate change. Harness the power of education by equipping students in both basic and higher education with the knowledge, skills, and values necessary to foster environmental stewardship and promote sustainable practices. And for us, civil society organizations and advocacy groups, let's see if this is doable for everyone present here. Conduct continuous monitoring of local environmental compliance, particularly in mining hotspots and coastal resource management areas. Mobilize citizen participation through community-led biodiversity monitoring and citizen science initiatives to contribute data to the Philippine Biodiversity Database. Partner with schools, faith-based groups, and local businesses to mainstream zero-waste lifestyle campaigns, waste upcycling, and climate adaptation awareness. And for all Filipinos, reduce household waste through segregation, composting, and recycling practices. Participate actively in tree planting and mangrove restoration programs with a regional goal of planting 5 million native trees and mangroves by 2030. Embrace sustainable consumption by choosing local, eco-friendly, and low-carbon products and practice energy conservation in daily life. Participate in restoring forests, mangroves, and coral reefs, respecting their natural pace of regeneration. Support sustainable agriculture and fisheries that harmonize the ecological principles rather than degrade them. Campaign for the reduction of single-use plastics. All Filipinos, campaign for the reduction of single-use plastics, recognizing their long-term impacts on climate and ecosystems. Oh, meron pa. Practice the Filipino value of bayanihan by acting together as one community of stewards committed to conserving creation. And this was approved during the third day of September during the State of Nature Assessment and Ecosystems Integrity, a must for Philippine sustainability, held at Visayas State University, Region 8, Philippines. And this resolution was approved by all the participants in the green sauna. Yay! Okay. So, kaya ba? Follow natin ang mga resolutions na yon? Yeah, great, great.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Ms. Tessa, thank you very much for presenting the resolutions. So before we proceed to our open forum, I think we're all ready for our group shots. May we kindly ask our members, participants, as well as our research speakers to please turn your cameras on for a group screenshot to be facilitated by GC's Tech Assistant, Ms. Maribeth Jose. Please cue us in po, Ms. Mabeth.
Again, our sincere gratitude to our sponsor, JRS Express. Kahit kailan, maaasahan, kahit saan, makakarating.
Green.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you once again to our research speakers for today, Attorney Suarez, Ms. Carmi, Mr. Danny, and Kadodoy. I think we're all ready for our open forum. In the interest of time, Ms. Tessa, please help me
Right,
moderate
yes.
the open
Right.
forum.
Yes, to ask a question or share a comment, you may raise your hand if you would like to speak. We will call on you and gladly recognize you to unmute. So once again, please introduce yourself by stating your name and organization, school, or location, and clearly state your question and mention who it is directed to. We have two resource speakers here with us. Okay, or you might want to put it in the chat box. Okay, so maybe let's start the open forum now. Do we see any hand raised? Yung mining issue talaga ang hot na hot dito sa ating pinag-usapan sa Kamayan, no? But
Yes
there was
po, that's
also
right.
the good mangrove reforestation that brought about a lot of benefits to the community. May
Yes.
isang nagbigay ng comment dito na ang late father niya daw in Silago, South Leyte, used to fish in Homonhon with its rich seafood products. So with its present condition, talagang nakakaiyak.
Yes
Nawala
po.
na siguro yung mga lobsters and crabs na talagang known to be the nation's fishing capital.
Yes.
Okay, any questions or comments from our participants?
Tessa,
Yes, Dr. G.
yeah, I asked on the chat box kasi kanina si Danny was talking about MPSA and FDAA. Baka hindi alam ng audience natin what those are and how are they different.
Okay.
FDAA and MPSA, Foreign Technology Assistance, and yung isa, Marine ano yan? Mining something sharing agreement. Minerals production sharing agreement. Anong difference nung dalawa? Hi, Danny.
Yes, ma'am po. Narinig ko na yung ano yung question. Yung
Yeah.
pagkakaiba po ng dalawa, pagka MPSA, yung Mineral Production Sharing Agreement, limited lang po yung kanyang hectarage. Mga hanggang 5,000 lang 'yan hectares
Aha.
pero yung Financial Technical Assistance Agreement, 10,000 above 'yan.
Wow.
Yan po yung pagkakaiba nila. So, may limitation sa usapin ng lawak ng kanilang miminahin. Mas malaki, mas malawak, maabot yan ng 10,000 to 20,000 hectares, more than 20,000 hectares pa yung FTAA. Kaya, whereas yung MPSA po, maliit lang po yan. Limited yan to 5 to 10,000. Hanggang
Ano
lang
yung
dyan lang
share?
po sila.
Bakit sharing agreement? Shared between whom?
Dan?
Yes, yung sharing, pag sinabi kasi sharing agreement, dapat may share po yan yung community, yung government, at saka yung kontraktor o yung minahan. Kaya tinatawag yan Mineral Production Sharing Agreement. Pero yun nga yung nangyayari, dapat kasi equal yan yung sharing. Pero ang nangyayari, mas malaki yung share ng mining company at nung government. Ang kadalasan pa dyan, kakarampot lang talaga. O iba nga, walang share yung community. Just like sa Humunhon, na-mention yun ni Carmi na hindi nga nila naramdaman yung buwis o yung share ng mining para doon i-develop yung kanilang, halimbawa, yung kalsada, yung kanilang basic services. Dapat kasi pagka may MPSA kayo o FTAA, kontrata yan So yung kontrata dapat kasama dyan yung mining affected communities na pipirma, tapos malinaw dapat dyan magkano yung sharing. Pero disadvantage nga nangyayari. Kaya nga ang ang sabi nga ng isang mining affected communities, yung mine is mined, yours is mined. Tapos ang karamihan pa yan, never mind na lang. So hindi na sila na bibigyan.
Yung foreign technical assistance naman, talaga bang binibigyan tayo ng assistance and in what sense?
Yung ano po ma'am Ninya?
Yung FTAA, foreign technical assistance ang ibig sabihin nun, di ba?
Opo.
Binibigyan ba tayo talaga ng assistance and why is it so big yung hectarage?
Yan po yung naka doon sa FTA, yan po yung nakalagay doon sa batas na when you talk on financial technical assistance agreement, dapat malaki yan. Malawak. Yun yung start nila is 10,000 above.
Pero
Na,
nagbibigay ba talaga sila ng
pe-
assistance? Talaga bang
pero yung
tinutulungan?
assistance na usapin,
Oh.
marami pong ano yan, marami pong problema diyan. Kasi yung
Oh.
DDPO, halimbawa, yung isa sa mga FTA na pinakamalaki, itong Nueva Vizcaya, yung Oceana Gold Philippines. Ang sharing diyan between barangay, may assistance sila na binibigay doon sa barangay DDPO para i-develop yung kanilang mga road, yung hospitals, dapat. Pero yun nga, hindi siya ganong kalaki na nakikinabang yung mga taga-barangay. Siyempre yung nakikinabang doon, yung mga pro-mining. Yan yung sa nangyayari ngayon sa DDPO.
Hmm.
Tapos yung kanilang mahirap pa dyan kasi yung mga declared na mga agricultural land sa Imugan, dyan sa DDPO mismo, nasakop na yan ng FTA. So hindi pa rin sila, yung pag sinabi mong assistance kasi ma'am, meron kasi dapat yung kasunduan na ito yung naibibigay nila sa barangay at
Yes,
saka doon sa mining affected communities. Pero yun nga, wala pong nangyayari na ganyan na pagbibigay kasi nga kahit sa livelihood, dapat i-provide nila yan eh. Wala namang livelihood na provide yung Oceana Gold. Kung hindi, nagbibigay lang sila ng porsyento sa barangay, which is the barangay LGU, yung nakikinabang. Tapos, yung livelihood, wala po silang na-provide na livelihood.
Okay, thank you, Danny.
Yeah. Paano ito na-monitor ng mga tao? Kung talagang meron bang nasusunod yung mga
Actually, ma'am, yung
napag-usapan?
pagmo-monitor nila diyan, meron kasi diyang tinatawag na technical working group dapat yung monitoring. Tawag diyan mining monitoring committee. Ang problema kasi yung mga ilinalagay nila diyan ng mga NGO ay yung mga PO, People's Organization ay nako-co-op din nung monitoring committee. Just like sa Umunhon, meron na gusto naman silang sa MMT ba 'yon? Mining Monitoring Committee, Mining Monitoring Team, pero ayaw nila pumasok kasi nga pag nagmi-meeting, hindi naman sila na pinapakinggan yung kanilang pagmo-monitor. Halimbawa may violation. Ang iba pa nga, hindi sila pinapasama doon sa monitoring team. Just like yung binanggit ni Carmi, yung monitoring team nila galing Giwan. Member nung pinili lang nung taga Giwan, hindi taga Humonhon. So paano 'yan?
Okay. Yeah.
So
All right. Si Gwen has a question. Gwen?
Sige, Gwen, ang base group ko, Green Research. Sorry dahil na-late ako. So, unang kong hingi ako ng copy ng PowerPoint mo. Tapos ito yung tanong ko, nabanggit mo ba to? Nabanggit mo ba yung bagong napirmahang Republic Act 12253, Enhanced Physical Regime for Large-Scale Mining?
may bagong
Hindi.
napirmahan?
Nabanggit mo ba to? Hindi.
Hindi pa.
Ang tingin ko, parang nagpo-push tayo ng katagal-tagal na ng Land Use Act at saka ng mining bills na yan. Dalawang version pa yan kasi may version yung extreme left. Meron din tayo, yung ATM LED. So ngayon, tapos naisahan tayo. So, naisahan na naman tayo. So, napasa nila to, although sinasabi ni PBBM, this will safeguard the environment, it's pro-Filipino. Pero, i-check mo ako, Daniel. I check that, ngayon lang, chinek ko lang mabilis, ATM blog. Wala pa kayong statement dito, tama ba ako? Ulit, yung pangalawang tanong ko, yes or no? Kung wala nga
Yes,
kayong
wala pa,
statement.
wala pa.
Wala
Wala
nga,
pa po
tama.
kaming
So,
statement.
mauna pa ako mag-statement dito in our social media that I'm not sure, pero I have reservations about this one kasi parang ang nangyari, na-railroad tayo. Gusto natin ng comprehensive, alam naman natin na mali ang Mining Act na yan. Sayang, nanghinayang ako kasi yung isang DOF secretary, batchmate ko. So minsan, I mentioned this already in one of our siguro gatherings with sa birthday ata ni Tita Vicky yun sa table. Sabi kong gano'n, nag-usap yung mga batchmate ko kasama yung isang DOF, nag-agree yung a few of us, yung mga lawyers, and siya na, hindi ko lang alam kung nagsalita yung DOF, na sinabi namin, oh, yung mining dapat niyang ayusin kasi nga, ganyan-ganyan. Kulang yung, ano to, yung, ano man tawag natin doon, yung value chain, di ba? Yung production sana sa atin, di ba? In-export lang. Pero hindi ko alam at that time na meron na palang kinukook up na mining na to. Yun pa nga itong tanong ko, alam nyo ba na nangyayari ito? Na itong bill na to ay nilalakad ng kung sino man, malamang ng Mining Chamber of Mines. At may ginawa ba kayo dito? I mean, kinonsult ba kayo? Naubo ba kayo sa Senate? Kasi kung alam ko lang na merong ganito, siguro kakalampagin ko kayo. I mean, ang Green Convergence sa tulungan yung ATM or mag-support tayo. So, ano pa yung battery ko? Ayun. So, there. So, ang gusto ko tuloy sabihin na namumuba ko ang gawin na hindi ko alam kung gagawin namin or gagawin na lang next year. I think what we need is a dark green sauna. Sorry but if I got it right, although maganda yung ano to, yung mga recommendations, tama ba ako, Tessa, na nakafocus siya sa region? Hindi siya national, ano? Tama?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
sagutin niyo
more of the
yun.
region. Yes.
Yeah. Naintindihan ko naman dahil galing kayo doon. Kaya lang, sinasabi ko ron, may limitation yun. Bukod doon, yung mga dati nating mga statements sa resolution na minsan nag edit pa ako, I think when Carlo was still alive, yun ata yung last na intervention ko, no, na sa ano na yung resolution. Yung nagpunta ako sa Tagaytay, hindi ko alam, hindi naman ata Green Zone na yun, ano, summit yun. So, yun lang. So, ang sinabi ko na rin ata to kay Dr. Nina o kina Yeb at kina Rodney, kasi I met them sa Laudato Si Summit. I think, I think in general, I think some of our gains in the past, we are losing now. Ano nga lose? Yung sa mining. Ang swerte talaga natin kay Pinoy talaga, mama. Ang mga labi natin nun, hindi nasayang kasi talagang nag-moratorium. May napala tayo nun. So ngayon, in danger na yung mining. Tapos, isasabihin ko na rin sa inyo to para ma-alert kayo. I'm one of the NGO representatives in the Green Research is one of the NGO representatives in the NAPSI sector. 100 yon. Pero meron pang executive. So hindi ko alam kung ano nangyayari dun sa executive meeting ng 25 of the different sector. Pero one time, nagpatawag recently ng regional. And then si Calope, they call him Calope, is the convener from the government, secretary. Ala, nag-explain siya ng accomplishment ng NAPSI. Maya-maya, Daniel, ikwento mo to kay ano. Kwento ko na to sa
Yeah,
PMTI.
we'll link you. We'll link you to JB. Gwen, we'll link you to JB.
Yung link, tama yung tanong, sabi ni Ma'am Ninya. You give us the link kasi gumagawa kami naman ng mga statement tungkol dyan kung merong mga bagong update. So thank you. You give us the ano yung bill na yan na sinasabi mo.
Thank you for this
and
update.
then we will forward it to JB.
Well, Gwen sounded the alarm, but I also want to say, tinanong niya yung waste to energy. Yesterday in the forum of NESCA, the Secretary of Energy said they are really looking into waste to energy. When I talked to her and I told her the negatives, she was very defensive and I think she really believes in it, but I think she does not know the whole problematic of the environment. Kasi bago pa lang siya and she says, I'm with energy, that's the part of DNR, blah, blah, blah. But definitely, I think we need to push harder, as Gwen says. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
Yung evaluation form po natin, isi-share po ng Secretariat itong evaluation form. Please take a few minutes to fill it out as your feedback means a lot. And then for those requesting e-certificates, reminder that you must have been actually present in the forum, not just pre-registered. And once na-complete na po natin tong evaluation and yung presence po ninyo, makaka-request na po kayo ng e-certificate. And we'd also like to invite you to become official members of Green Convergence. I believe the membership registration links will be shared by our secretariat in the chat box. And of course, lastly, we encourage everyone to be mindful of their carbon footprint. Use the Ako Ang Bukas Household GHG Calculator web app where you can calculate your carbon footprint and find ways to reduce it. And you can also be part of the bigger change by signing the Ako Ang Bukas Pledge. Links will also be shared. Okay, Ms. Tessa?
All right. Sige, thank you. And special thanks to Gwen for bringing that up. We will talk about it in our board meeting and maybe find out how we can really look into the issues that you've raised. Okay? So
ano lang, check lang the chat box. I sent na some links.
all right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms.
There
Glenn.
you have it. Thank you very much once again to everyone who made this session possible, especially to JRS Express. Maraming salamat for being our partner for the three Kamayan sessions that we will be having.
Yes.
Okay, sige. Maraming salamat din sa ating eminent speakers, our partners, Visayas State University, our sponsors, FPH, De La Salle Life Forest Foundation, FPE, Congressman Carl Nicolas Cari, Amaranth, and VSU's UIMPA. All right, just to remind you, we will hope to see you again when we have our next Kamayan Forum on October 17, 2025. So maraming salamat.
Thank you.
This is-
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tessa Oliva bidding everyone a good day, and with me is...
Marian Luisa Palaw, Green Convergence's Media and Communications Officer. Hope to see you all again for another meaningful environmental discussion next month. Maraming salamat at makakalikasang araw sa ating lahat.
Thank you.